Ladies and gentlemen, they got him.
Gotcha, bitch.
They got him. They got Nick. Oh my. Oh my. The Masked Singer's never going to be the same. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Night. And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, me, Marty, aka PDawg Night. And I don't know how this one happened, but the cancellations continue. They got Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, of all people. Nick Cannon. Star or host of The Masked Singer, which clearly takes on a whole new meaning with COVID-19. And the host of Wildin' Out on MTV. Now, if you've never seen Wildin' Out, it's kind of a rap battle show, and they do insults and funny things and whatnot. But Nick Cannon, now there's a couple different things about this that are interesting. So, I didn't tweet out the show. The couple of interesting things. So here's just, it's the top trending thing on Twitter right now. So I figure I'll talk about it. In fact, I should do a hashtag of Nick Cannon. Anyway, so Nick Cannon is fired by CBS after he failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetrating anti-Semitism. Now, if you're curious what that's about, Viacom confirmed it has terminated his relationship with Wildin' Out host Nick Cannon after he failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetuating anti-Semitism. The company was referring to comments Cannon made during a recent episode of his podcast, Cannon's Class. In a series of posts to his Twitter account, he said he has no hate. He has, quote, no hate in my heart, end quote, and that he does not condone hate speech nor the spread of hateful rhetoric. Now, there have been, let's see, they have some, there's some clips of what he's been saying. And you know what? Here's my thing. He was talking about the Rothschilds and things like that, but he also said some things that, let's just see if I can find the clips, because they're out there. Here, let's go in the main tab here. Maybe those. Let's see. Let's go under trends. There's Nick Cannon. Because some of what he said, I mean, look, it's nothing you've never heard among the, what would you call it? I would say the woke. The woke crowd. In fact, some people are, what's up with these Nick Cannon lost his job faster than Breonna Taylor killer takes? Viacom doesn't run a police department. What Nick Cannon said was wildly anti-Semitic. We should be allying with marginalized groups, not beating them down. Stop defending Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon lost his job quicker than the cops who killed George Floyd. Well, no, because Nick's been saying this shit for months. Oh, no. Nick Cannon told no lies. He just didn't articulate it scientifically. Brother Ngozi goes in. Let me see if I can find one of these clips of Nick Cannon. It seems to be hiding this shit. Where the hell are they? Why am I getting the latest again? I want the latest. I want the latest. Come on now. Someone give me a clip. Oh, Burn Down White Supremacy says Nick Cannon just pointed out how the Ashkenazi Jews are the predominant image of the Jewish person, even though there's many Jewish people of color, and that the 12 tribes that left Egypt were not white. What's anti-Semitic about that? Saying you're not the only Jewish people? He kind of got, now, if Black Hebrew Israelites here today, you might be able to clue me in on what Nick was talking about. Let's see. Let's see. This is the one that I thought maybe would have got him in trouble. Here's Nick Cannon talking about white people.
In a way that let's go to what it really is. Then when we talk about the power of melanated people, when we talk about who we really are as guys, and understanding that our melanin is so powerful and it connects us in a way that the reason why they fear black, the reason why they fear is because the lack that they have of it. So then when you see what Dr. Francis C. Welsing talked about is that fear in that
just genetic annihilation,
deficiency of when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated.
Now,
so therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion. Melanin comes with soul. That we call it.
Now look, I'm not laughing at what he's saying. Well, I'm not. Okay. I'm not making fun of what he's saying at all. But when I see a man and his daughter walking down the street and someone with melanin shoot that man in the head and kill him right in front of his daughter out of a car and drive off, it makes me wonder about that compassion he's talking about. Now, look, and that's not a black thing that man did. That was the asshole thing. Okay? But compassion is not, well, if there was no compassion, there wouldn't be all these white kids out in the street protesting for Black Lives Matter. If there's no compassion on the other side. So compassion is an internal trait that has nothing to do with what you look like or where you came from. Maybe it's how you're raised, but this is not the part he got. This is not the part he got fired for.
That's the melanin that connects us. So the people that don't have it are a little. And I'm gonna say this carefully.
Yeah, because remember your wife, your ex-wife, although she has some melanin, mixed. It's a mixed bag of melanin, kind of like myself. But anyway,
are a little less. And where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan.
He follows Farrakhan, or he's quoting Farrakhan. Anyway, let's go.
May not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun, that the sun then started to deteriorate them. So then they're acting out of fear. They're acting out of...
What about all those white people who get really good tans in the summer? I saw a girl running down the street the other day. Now, I know it's a white girl. That girl was way darker than me. She must spend a hell of time in the sun. Anyway.
Low self-esteem. They're acting out of...
Low self-esteem?
So therefore, the only way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
fight or flight,
in order to survive.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Right.
They had to be savages. They had to be barbaric. Because they're in these Nordic mountains. They're in these rough torrential environments, so they're acting as animals.
Right.
So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages, and then they built up such this.
Okay, so
I don't say warrior, but they built up such this conquering barbaric mentality.
All right, so
then
sorry about that. So that's not the quote he got fired for. Although and look, if you're there is a what should I call it? There is a train of thought in certain woke or highly educated black thought that there is theories on melanin and how it you know, the origins of man and how certain tracks of evolution came from different tracks and things like that. It's all part of educated wokeness among some black theorists. But let's see here. Let me find the one that he really got. They say that he got fired for, though. If somebody's posted it. Hang on. Problem is, he's going to be gone from Wildin' Out. Wildin' Out is kind of a funny show if you ever watch the clips on YouTube. Well, I should have bookmarked this earlier, but anyway, he was talking about the Rothschilds and I don't know if he went with the conspiracy, but he's talking a little bit about how the tribes of Egypt, when they left, it wasn't just white. You know, the Jews weren't all white. Well, because you know, it's funny because if you look into some of that history of Egypt, there were people from all over the world traveling between Rome and Cairo and you know, through Egypt. So and I don't think that the concept of race, I don't believe, was anywhere near prevalent as is now. Race, people thinking of people as different races, probably is more of a post 15th, 16th century thing. Anyway, I'm not going to get too deep into that. But anyway, Nick Cannon's fired. Let's see if the BBC article has any more details here. So, and now, it's interesting. This is very conflicting for the current cancel crowd, the leftists, you know, because some are going to say, oh, well, like that tweet said, Nick Cannon was fired faster than the officers that killed George Floyd, which in actuality he wasn't. But anyway, that just because you heard about it yesterday doesn't mean that the whole episode happened yesterday. And then there's the other side who is really going to talk about anti-Semitism being what it is in the Trump era. But Nick Cannon is not influenced by anyone in the Trump era. But I saw some tweets yesterday saying, oh, the MAGA crowd's going to embrace Nick Cannon now. No. Okay? Because the MAGA crowd's not anti-Semitic. There's no, you know, it's less like, I'm sorry. I think they're less likely to be anti-Semitic, except for those tiki torch carrying ass wipes that aren't really part of the scene. They're outsiders. Nobody wants them anywhere. But you're so much more likely to see anti-Semitism in certain black communities in New York, okay, where they are around a lot of different Jewish people, right? And then the BDS crowd, the hate Israel crowd, even though they say they're not being anti-Semitic, they're just supporting the Palestinians. But, you know, it turns into anti-Semitism when you really listen to what they say. So I don't know. Anyway, Nick Cannon, U.S. TV host, fired by MTV owner in anti-Semitism row. Nick Cannon has been fired from his MTV show Wildin' Out and other work for the channel's parent company, which said he had promoted anti-Semitic comments. Viacom CBS said in a recent episode of his podcast, Cannon's class promoted hateful speech and spread anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Now, look, here's the other thing. Because the other thing people are going to bitch about, oh, where's the free speech crowd now? I think Nick Cannon should be able to say whatever he wants to say. I don't think he should be. Now, look, You can disagree with him. Certain people can ostracize him. His business can fire him or whatever. But I think he should be allowed to say what he's going to say. But you know, just like everybody else who love to say consequences, well, this is what you want. You want people fired for things they say. You want people run out of town. You want people not to be able to feed their family. You want people to not be able to function in society for the things they say. If that's what you want, here's an example. And personally, he was not on their time. He was not representing them. I'm interested to see. Well, we'll just have to move on. I think what he said was stupid and asinine, but yeah. No, you can't insult your boss's religion when you make that much money. No. Yeah. That's going to be I wasn't going there, Cairo, but yes, you're right, right there. In response, Cannon said he does not condone hate speech nor the spread of hateful rhetoric. The star also presents The Masked Singer, which is made by Fox. Well, Fox hasn't fired him yet. He created Wild 'N Out, an improv series that has had 15 seasons. That says 15 series. It's British outlet, but which will now come to an end. Oh, they're just going to stop it. He has also hosted a string of shows for the Viacom CBS-owned Nickelodeon channel for over more than 20 years and was named chairman of a spinoff, Teen Nick, in 2019. In a statement, the company said, Viacom CBS condemns bigotry of any kind, and we categorically denounce all form of anti-Semitism. It added, while we support ongoing education and dialogue in the fight against bigotry, we are deeply troubled that Nick has failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetuating anti-Semitism, and we are terminating our relationship with him. Now, those people talking about, oh, he was fired faster than the officers who killed George Floyd were arrested. This happened on June 30th, people. So no, he was not fired faster than the officers who killed George Floyd were arrested. In the June 30th episode of Cannon's Class, the presenter interviewed former Public Enemy rapper Professor Griff, who left the group in 1989 after saying Jews were wicked. Remember that fiasco? Public Enemy fired him. Professor Griff claimed to Cannon that he was talking about Jews controlling the media and said, I'm hated now because I told the truth. Cannon added, you're speaking facts. You got facts. The presenter called Professor Griff a legend. He also said the Semitic people are black people and that you can't be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people. On social media, Cannon later said he had no hate in his heart, malice. We already saw that there. We are living in a time when it's more important than ever to promote unity and understanding, he's in his tweet. Until then, I hold myself accountable for this moment and take full responsibility because my intentions are only to show that as a beautiful human species, we have way more commonalities than differences. So let's embrace those as well as each other. We are family. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. Okay. Cannon also was criticized for comments that suggested white people were less than black people, which we just saw those things. So anyway, rest in peace to Nick Cannon's career, at least momentarily. Although he's still, I guess, apparently Fox hasn't fired him yet, so it looks like he'll still be on The Masked Singer. All right, let's say good morning to everybody because I'm way behind on that part of the show. This morning. Hey, by the way, how you doing? I cooked another one of those cowboy ribeyes last night, just because we needed to get it cooked because it had been sitting in our fridge a while, and I was going to either freeze it or cook it. So, then yesterday, salted it up, put it back in the fridge, took it out last night, let it sit for an hour, got it on the grill, got some nice marks on it, did some offset heat on the old cowboy ribeye, got it to a nice perfect medium. Woo! A little salt and pepper, garlic powder before I did that. No, not salt and pepper. The salt was already on it, but some garlic powder, onion powder, and pepper. I added to the seasoning mix. And ate a little tiny piece for last night, but I ate part of it for breakfast this morning before I came on. And oh my God, I had a mouthgasm. Okay, let's say good morning to who's here. First in the chat today was Sydney Rochelle, who gets the bell. Good morning, my dear. Thank you for being here. Also, good morning to Cynical Lindsay, Richo, Renee Mayette, Select a Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Good morning to Amy and Connect I Cut, Duck Dog, Molly Mags, Mike Savage, Blarg. Also, good morning to Sean D.W., Tyler F. This thing's still on my neck. Did I say hi to Richo already? Good morning, Richo, if I didn't do that. I think I said that. Also, good morning, Jonas Pedersen. Oh, Aloysius Fudpucker. That is a new name. Hello, Aloysius Fudpucker. You're not Check Your Logic hiding. By the way, someone let me know when Check Your Logic comes into the chat today, because he asked me if I sang happy birthday songs to people. And so I want to make sure that I remember to wish happy birthday to Check Your Logic, who is not here yet. But good morning, Aloysius Fudpucker. That's a new one. Good morning, Midnight in Exile. Who else am I missing here? As I scroll, let's see. Have I got everybody already? No. Good morning, Dumb Beard. How you doing? Jonas Pedersen, Cairo Alexander, and Gunfox61. How you doing? The Chinese Three Gorges Dam may fall at any day. A new report says. Oh gosh, that's gonna be fucked up. Are they Gunfox? Out of curiosity, are they evacuating people out of that area? I'm assuming. Good God. Good morning to, let's see, am I got everybody? Good morning, Low Rider. That's one I haven't seen for a while. Also, good morning to, am I getting everybody? I said Duck Dog. Jaeger Pony. What's up, my man? How you doing? One of my favorite Canadians in the world. And let's see. I think I'm caught up. I talked too long, and now I have to go through all this scrolling. Good morning, Becca Farley. And Cal Kennel, Superman's cousin. Chi-Town J, what's happening? John Smith, hello. And I think I'm getting through this. There's a lot of people. Stabbing Joe Scarborough, sharpening the knives. How you doing, my friend? And, okay, if I've missed you, you might have to get in the chat again. Midday Sun, how you doing? Ginger Power, Zombie Teddy, Dark Isle, BG, ha, 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 staying alive, ha, 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 staying alive. And Big Assassin 80. All right, hello, everybody. I know that's so annoying. I am so annoying when I'm singing the Bee Gees because I don't know. Anyway.
That's right.
Anyway, all right. So what else do we got in the news? There's a whole bunch of news. Oh, wait, quick. Let's do some thank yous before I move on, too. Because I got a whole ton of notifications. Thank you, Becca Fairley, Jaeger Pony, Necrosaw, Colin, Cynical Lindsay, Cindy Rochelle, and anyone else who's tweeting out the show. Do me a favor. The Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Share the stream. We're growing slowly. I'm getting over so close to the 800 mark. We got to get to 1,000 though in the next few weeks. I'll announce some new visitors to the show that are going to be coming in the next few weeks. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we'll figure it out. They're not. Also, the CCP will only pay about $1.150 per citizen to the local government. Well, that's not good. Hello, haha. What's up? All right. Not a fan of Tommy. Tommy Tuberville. So they're not moving people out of that danger zone where that dam's going to break. That's going to be a freaking disaster. Holy shit. Anyway. Anyway, share the stream. Hit the share arrow down here. You can send it to Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Reddit, wherever you send things, even LinkedIn. I don't know why people share things on LinkedIn, but you could share shit like that on LinkedIn too. Also, or you can just follow me up here, Twitter, Minds, Gab, Parler. I'm very active on Twitter, but I also do notifications on all those platforms right up there. And if you want to do super chats today, PDawg.live. It's also in the chat. This show is sponsored by viewers like you. Support the show with your donations and have your super chats read live on the show. You'll become a permanent part of this episode for perpetuity. Hello, Black Hebrew Israelite. I knew you'd show up pretty soon. Good morning. See what happens when you talk. That sentence ended rather abruptly. I'm not sure what that means. And, ladies and gentlemen, Check Your Logic is in the building. Everyone wish Check Your Logic a happy birthday. You asked me yesterday, Check Your Logic, if I sing birthday songs. Well, unlike Monkey, I choose to do it in a talented way, because Monkey is talented, but he just chooses to do birthday songs in a weird way. But I have a whole different philosophy on birthdays. Now, if you want me to sing, people can ask, and I will sing. It's not going to be just, oh, it's my birthday. Doesn't mean I'm always going to sing, but Check Your Logic asked me very, very nicely yesterday. So Check Your Logic. Here it goes. Happy, happy birthday to all the girls and boys. I hope this very special day will bring you lots of joy. I hope to get some presents from good old mom and dad and makes this very special day the best you ever had. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Check Your Logic. Happy birthday to you. Happy, happy birthday from the morning crew. I wish it was our birthday so we could party too. Hey! There you go. Oh, come on! Oh, there, okay, there you go. Happy birthday to Check Your Logic. There you go. PDawg Night gonna song in the club. Oh, yes, of course. Run for the hills. Come on now. Anyway, happy birthday. Yes, Scribe can sing when he has. Monkey can sing when he puts in the effort. He just chooses to sing in a well, just a special way. I'll leave it at special. And it is very special, I'll tell you that. All right. Run for the hills. Run to the hills. Run for your life. Okay, I don't sing that high. Anyway. Aloysius Funbugger. PDawg Night, thanks for the greet. I just hide in the shadows. Well, you know what? I appreciate that you join us when you can, and if you're in the shadows, sometimes, I know some people listen at work or listen while they're driving or there's something like that. So just, that's how it is. All right, let's get into some news today. Now, did you all know that the Democratic National Convention was supposed to start a couple days ago? Did you know that? Did anybody even know? And now you wouldn't know it if you were paying attention to the news because it wasn't in the news. But Monday was a big day for Democrats, and you probably missed it. With America's anti-Trump voters and allied reporters in the bag, Democrats know the biggest threat to their candidate is their candidate. Monday was the first day of the Democratic National Convention. You might be forgiven for not knowing that, as the news was nowhere. Not in the papers, not on the shows, and not in the morning newsletters most of Washington relies on for what to think that day. The long-planned dates, July 13th through 17th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, were first moved to August 17th through 20th, then canceled and turned into some kind of national Zoom meeting, and finally dropped down the memory hole and forgotten faster than it takes Joe Biden to forget what he had for breakfast. There was no daily coverage of this disaster, no countdown to the big day, no masked reporters flitting and flailing about after the former vice president or his team demanding to know what America might expect the most festive Democratic Party event since Samantha Power invited HBO to her 2016 election party. Ooh, wow. Anyway, much of the political convention is for show in our modern-day primary system, although the platform ratification remains somewhat important. And while the exciting imagery of the nomination might have no major impact on the election, it's a favorite of the base, which the party's most committed activists dressing up for the ruckus on the floor and the busy evenings that follow. The revelation of the platform for the media and the candidates' acceptance speech are likely the longest lasting effects of the week. So it's no surprise Democrats don't want a convention. The party has moved farther and farther to the left than any Biden primary supporter might have imagined, and the candidate has mentally deteriorated at a rapid rate too many of us recognize from family experiences. Yes, I don't even want to go there. I could tell you some of the experiences I've had with this, and you know, if you had parents or grandparents or great aunts or uncles or whatever go through it, you've seen it, and you're seeing it right before your eyes. And I don't know, the term gaslighting always comes up on different various things, but they're kind of gaslighting us and not Joe's abilities. Anyway, last week, Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders' Unity Task Forces released the 110-page results of their negotiations that the Sanders team appears to have dominated, nearly tripling Hillary Clinton's 2016 tax hikes proposal, offering free college, planning an acceleration of the Democrats' zero-emission plan, and a heaping full-scale audit of American border security officers on top of citizenship for illegal immigrants and every other leftward lurch of the past few months. Of course, corporate news reports largely lacked this important context, with CNN instead characterizing the plan as a moderate one that doesn't satisfy oh God.
You're a lying dog face pony.
As a moderate one that doesn't satisfy the left, as it did not adopt freshman Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal to end all fossil fuel use, did not adopt the Democratic National Committee debate talking point of opening the border, and did not propose the nearly brand new far-left idea to replace American law enforcement with social workers. Biden, we might recall, ran as a moderate, refusing to raise his hands for things like opening the border and decriminalizing its illegal crossings. After the compromise, no longer. The compromise they came up with, if implemented, will make Biden the most progressive president since FDR, Sanders crowed to MSNBC after the reports released. We're going to have... Biden said this. We're going to have a breathtaking opportunity to rewrite our economy. Biden agreed from his home, his blue blazer struggling to stay on his sagging shoulders. That was an unnecessary aside, but whatever. That wasn't mine. They actually wrote that. The stuff of left-wing rallies, sure. The stuff of national elections, rarely, but then there won't be any rallies for the people to see, and in their stead, America has a corporate media willing to tell us the proposals above are moderate. You know what? I think people are going to figure it out. I just do. You know, I don't think you can get by on anti-Trump alone. And eventually, I think people are going to see this. What's a really good example? Here's a good example. This is like, I'd loathe to make this analogy, but this is like McGovern and Nixon in 1972. Now, I was only 6 or 7 years old at the time. 6, I don't know. That's the first, was I 7? No, I was 8. I was 8 years old. That's the first election I remember as a child. And and it was just a total wipeout. Nixon blowing McGovern out. But the thing was that I remember is I was on a school bus going to school. I'm going in second grade or something like that. Or I was in, I was in third grade. And the kids on the bus somehow got into this thing of Nixon versus McGovern, right? And I remember this as clear as day. there were people on the bus. The kids were chanting. Some kids in the back of the bus were chanting, "Boo for Nixon, boo for Nixon, yay McGovern." On the bus, like there was like 5 kids. They're all from like not 5 kids, like 3 or 4 kids. They're from the same family. Maybe one kid was their friend, whatever. And then the entire rest of the bus would say, "Boo for McGovern, boo for McGovern, yay Nixon." Like I didn't even understand why the whole bus was for Nixon. I didn't know. I didn't give a shit about elections. I was only in 3rd grade. But I got a feeling that with all the stuff going on, particularly this whole chaos thing that people are seeing, but the media is kind of just poo-pooing, I just got the feeling that there are, first of all, when people, all these polls, the polls are showing Biden leaning in some of them. I mean, if you look at the aggregates, they're all still pretty close, and swing states are actually closer than they ever talk about. They always talk about the national poll, right? The national poll doesn't mean shit, as we know from 2016 or from 2000. National poll doesn't mean anything. If Trump's anywhere near anywhere in the Biden lead come election time, I have a feeling that most people aren't going to tell you if they're thinking about voting for Trump, because there's a social stigma to it, in a sense, where people are going to try to shame you if you or worse yet, attack you if you mention that you might even consider Trump to be not that bad. If you ever watch a Fleckus Talks video where he's walking around, his whole line is just saying, "I'm just here to find out if you think Trump's bad, or is Trump not that bad?" Right? No one. I'm not going to single, because look, if you're a Trump supporter, you notice the hats aren't so prominent anymore because people get attacked physically, not only verbally, but physically attacked. So who's going to raise their hand and say, "Oh, I'm voting for Trump"? I am. Nah. I don't think polls are going to tell you who's going to vote for Trump, just like they did in 2016. And also, you have a candidate on that side who they're hiding him. Now, look, he did have a speech the other day. I don't know what it's from, but even in the speech the other day, he mangled what he was saying, and he does it every time he speaks in public. So when they can do the little videos from his house, where they can make sure they can edit it and whatnot, yeah, he sounds okay. But he's certainly not the Joe Biden from 20 years ago, who was, even though he said stupid shit, at least he was fluid. Now, the other day when he said, I'm Joe Biden's husband, Joe Biden, when he meant to say, "I'm Jill Biden's husband." Obviously, it was obvious, that's what he meant. But, and then he didn't even pick up on what he said, which whatever. But this whole thing that they're talking about here, where he sat down with the Sanders crew and they're coming out with all these ideas, talking about legalizing 11 million illegal immigrants his first week in office. And, oh my God, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would be very less. Well, hey, no, look. The other part, if Joe Biden does win, I don't think it's the end of the world, but I'm just not willing to take that chance. Especially as I see what's going on in this country. In Portland, Ted Wheeler, I was looking at a tweet from him this morning talking about blaming the feds for the violence in Portland because the federal agents who were protecting the building that the rioters in Portland were trying to burn down had the gall to use tactics to keep them from trying to burn their building down and trying to burn down a federal courthouse. So the federal agents, they deployed whatever tear gas or whatever they use and pepper spray and rubber bullets. And Ted Wheeler, the mayor of Portland, excoriated them for the violence that federal agents caused. I should show you this. Let me see. I don't even know if it's trending today, but I'm Ted Wheeler. Ted Wheeler. This jackass. He might even be trending. I don't know. We'll see later. Here's Ted Wheeler from Portland. Listen to this shit. Ted Wheeler tweets, "Oh, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. Why did I not fix that? Hang on a second here. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. I'm going to expand this box. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Black Hebrew Israelite with the 556, who says, first, oh, by the way, top super chat of the day is now 556. Black Hebrew Israelite says, so Wild 'N Out got canceled. Why? You can't talk shit about every race. You can talk shit about every race but the Jews?
That's right.
The chat wouldn't let me type out the Jews.
That's right.
Get your guns, people. A civil war or race war is being pushed by the media. Who controls the media? Oh, damn. I'm going to disavow, but
that's right.
All right, there we go. Yes, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. No, it's, in a way, it is true. The line, the tightrope you have to walk when you criticize. Now, I'm going to get in trouble. When you criticize any certain segment of society, not just Jewish people, the Jews, so to speak, but you have to walk such a tightrope with any kind of criticism of anything except for, type it in the chat, you know what I'm about to say. Oh, I forgot, I had 10 seconds delay. You have to walk a tightrope criticizing anybody but white people. But particularly because there's that trope, right? The trope of the Jews controlling the world and whatever. There are a lot of Jewish people in media. Yes, there are. And in high, powerful places. I think that their resilience to me is incredible. And rather than if more people tried to be more like them, I think we'd have a better world too, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm generalizing. Not every Jew is a successful person, but there's certainly one of my very best friends in high school was Jewish, and her family, they just had a drive that I didn't understand, and good for them. And I think it's a part of the survival taught within their religion. So, that's how it goes. Oh! All right, so thank you, Mike Hawk, for the 560, another 556. Yes, Mike Hawk, who says, Teddy Boy, can you eat me? Yes, let's get into Teddy Boy's tweets from this morning, which I found to be absolutely incredible. Just with a capital F, fucking incredible. Here we go. Today, this is Mayor Ted Wheeler of Portland, Oregon, the epicenter of Antifa and black-clothed young people who have nothing better to do than to smash windows. This is Mayor Ted Wheeler. Today, the acting Secretary of Homeland Security asked to speak with me about demonstration activity in Portland. He expressed his concern about ongoing violence and asked how his agency can help. Now, that's a good start. The acting Secretary of Homeland Security asked him, and then Well, here's Ted Wheeler. Ted Wheeler continues. I told the acting secretary that my biggest immediate concern is the violence federal officers brought to our streets in recent days and the life-threatening tactics his agents use. We do not need or want their help. What the fuck? He continues, the best thing they can do is stay inside their building or leave Portland altogether. Our goal is to end these violent demonstrations quickly and safely. And in the meantime, I asked him to clean up the graffiti on local federal facilities. We're not done. He continues, while we're busy cleaning our streets and buildings, the 2 federal buildings are covered with graffiti that has been there for weeks on end. Our plan is this: protect our community, clean up our city, and reopen.
How dare you?
Motherfucker. So, stay in your buildings while the ass hats outside are trying to burn them down. Clean up the graffiti on your building. Clean up the graffiti that's been there for weeks on end. Yes, I'm pretty sure all those federal agents just walked outside and said, oh, well, we've got nothing to do. I got an idea. Hey, throw me that bag of spray paint cans. What a fucking asshole. The violence in our streets, the concern is the violence federal officers brought to our streets in recent days. You mean defending the 2 federal buildings there, the federal courthouse and the federal building where the federal agents are located? Really, motherfucker? I mean, it's just one of those. I might have to make a Minecraft reference here, because I might. Maybe perhaps those, if I were in charge, I think the federal agents would be leveling City Hall right now, but only in Minecraft, only in the game Minecraft. It'd be blocks toppling everywhere. Now, some of the responses to this are also incredible. For example, this person says, given that the federal forces have attacked peaceful protesters, why aren't the Portland police out there to stop it? Now, there are some people who are smarter than a bag of bricks that were left on the street for assholes to throw. This guy says, you and Counselor Goldie Dreadlocks are the problem, respectively. We need Rudy Giuliani to move to Portland and become the mayor. He will show you how a real mayor takes care of the crime. But then there's, and here's this thing. The rioters brought the violence. The federal police have to defend the buildings or the rioters will burn it down. They've tried several times. Will you let the rioters burn down your house, or would you want the police to stop them? And said, yeah. But, and here, in what way are the life-threatening tactics Fed agents use different from the tactics your police use? Interesting. Rather arrogant, considering the images that the liberal meeting is showing and the lack of law and order there. Federal officers are not your problem. What the hell is that? Oh, that's weird. Oh, I had an Xbox window pop up while I was talking. And I know I don't want turn that off. Where did this shit come from? How do I close this window? Sorry, if you could, I hope you could still hear me. I don't even know how this happened. I forgot that I have some Xbox settings in here that sometimes pop windows up. Anyway, also, let's see. It's a shame we can't vote you out of office, Mr. Wheeler. I don't know a person who you represent that pays taxes and is a responsible citizen. Your agenda is not the mayor of our city, but the spokesman for those who would pull our city down and make our city, what is civitas? Civitas a rebel. I don't even know what that word means, but holy shitballs, Batman. Ted Wheeler is just a joke. All right, let's see. I got one more. I have a whole bunch of headlines. Let's just go through some headlines. There was a man arrested for allegedly shooting 2 Washington police officers, killing one. Here, I'll put the article up here. If it ever comes up. A man who allegedly shot and killed a Washington police officer and injured another during a traffic stop was arrested Monday night, according to police. Officers with the Bothell Police Department outside of the Seattle metro area tried to pull over a car around 9:40 p.m. Monday, but the driver allegedly refused to yield. Police told KOMO News after fleeing police. The driver supposedly struck a person on a scooter with the car and then allegedly opened fire on the officers, according to police, killing one, KOMO News reported. The surviving officer was released from the hospital Tuesday after being rushed into treatment the night prior. A hospital spokesman told the local outlet an hour-long manhunt for the suspect allegedly responsible for the shooting took place after the responding officers discovered their deceased fellow officer, police told the station. The suspect, who is yet to be identified, was reported located on a rooftop hours after he opened fire on the 2 Bothell officers, the police department said in a tweet. And then the identities of both cops struck by gunfire Monday night have not been released to authorities. So at least they caught the jackass. 2 police officers in McAllen, Texas, were ambushed and shot dead after responding to a house fire on Saturday, according to ABC News. Man, the dickheads are getting bold, and it's really a bit frightening. I don't know how to remedy this, man. The idea that you're gonna lower budgets of police forces, police departments, to solve the man bites dog problem, that doesn't work. What really would probably solve the problem more in some of these is to raise the budget, do more training, do more situational training, do all kinds of things, but cutting their budgets doesn't help anything. And in fact, it's going to hurt the people you think you're helping by doing this. More crime does not help people who live in high crime areas. Getting rid of the police does not help people in high crime areas. Just the opposite. And I was thinking about this the other day, and I saw one of those stupid TikTok videos a while back that was saying, Black neighborhoods are over-policed, so of course they have higher rates of crime. White suspects are undercharged, so of course they have lower rates of crime. No. Over-police is a really stupid concept. Police officers are deployed or allocated based on crime, based on the number of calls. So if there's an area that typically receives a higher number of police calls, then that's where they allocate the resources to. So that it's not over-policed. You can't be over-policed if there's no crime, right? So in my little lily white suburb of where I live here, and I wouldn't say lily white, there's black people live here, but it's mostly white. My suburb has very little crime, and we don't have a very large police department. Now, when there are situations where for example, if they need more people, the county, different municipalities in the county sometimes work together. But honestly, not a ton of crime. And so they're not allocated to here. But in certain areas of Minneapolis where you dial 911 probably as often as you dial grandma, well, there are going to be a lot more officers allocated to those areas. It's not about being over police. It's about who calls the police. And honestly, places with a lot of crime are where the police get called, and that's where those police are allocated. It's pretty simple concept that some people just don't fucking understand. So anyway, I'll do a couple more here. These are mostly on these kinds of stories. These stories are sad, but we're gonna just do a couple more and then get back to see what's trending here. Family speaks out after baby killed during New York City cookout. Everyone says Black Lives Matters. What about babies' lives? On Monday, Fox News contributor Lawrence Jones went into Brooklyn to speak to the father and paternal grandmother of a 1-year-old There we go. 1-year-old Devell Gardner Jr., who tragically died after being hit by a stray gunfire at a New York City playground over the weekend. Devell Gardner Sr., in tears, pleaded with the community to come forward with information on who killed his baby boy, stating that people in the community know but are not coming forward. They know, but they're not going to tell. Oh, that's this anti-snitch culture, right? Snitch culture. Good morning, Scribe Light and Willett Forge. And Renovasio. Dog Thrapple. And Midnight in Exile also. I didn't know if my son was going to make it or not, and he didn't, DeVell Sr. recalled in tears. I was looking for answers. When the doctors came out and told me, I just lost myself. Anyone who says they believe his son's life mattered are just lying, the father continued, because if you know information that needs to be said and no information is being said, whatever information you know, you need to tell me. It needs to be known, he pleaded. I need this information because these guys just took my son's life. For what? He didn't do nothing to nobody. The victim's grandmother, Samantha Gardner, said the child's killers can go to hell. For the cowards that did this, you should be ashamed of yourself, she said, adding, everybody talks about Black Lives Matter. What about babies' lives? What about teenagers' lives? You took an innocent child from a mother and a father. I don't think it's fair. It's I go back to that Don Lemon interview, and I'm still working on a video for that. But when Don Lemon was arguing with Terry Crews, and Terry Crews wanted to talk about Black Lives Matter never seems to care about the other people that murdered. And I know that the movement started because of police violence. And Don Lemon was saying, well, if you want to start your own movement about, gun violence, and I stopped in my head, I'm like, stop right there. This ain't about gun violence, Don. It's about human violence, whatever the tool they use. It's not about gun violence, Don. It's about humans murdering other humans. And then he made this dumbass analogy, which I know people like to use. Well, it's like if someone was talking about cancer and you said, well, what about diabetes? No, Don, that's a dumb analogy because, no, it's like someone, if you're talking about cancer, but then you say fingernail cancer matters. And if someone says, well, there's breast cancer and prostate cancer, this kind of cancer, no, we're talking about fingernail cancer, but the name of the organization is Cancer Matters. But we're talking about, it's about fingernail cancer. Right, Don? Mayor Lightfoot in Chicago. Trump likes to use Chicago as a political punching bag. Well, Bear Lightfoot, maybe you can somehow stop making your city into leather stuffed with fluff, and you won't be used as a punching bag. Today on MSNBC, Andrea Mitchell reports Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot said President Donald Trump only points out the rising shootings and murders in her city to use it as a political punching bag. You know, and a lot of people say, oh, when you talk about Chicago, that's a deflection. You know, there's police killings, police brutality, and yada, yada, yada. Well, again, it's Black Lives Matter. Like, you know, it's not some Black Lives Matter. If you'd have named it that, only Black lives killed by white people and police officers matter, then I would get it. And I know people don't like, I can argue with other Black people about this. It's like, look, you know, there's like, you can't say all lives matter until Black lives matter. Well, can you say Black lives matter unless you don't mean all Black lives matter? Fingernail cancer? Mitchell said, I want to also ask you about the violence this past weekend in Chicago. At least 60 shootings. The president jumped all over this, comparing it to saying the city is worse than Afghanistan. Your reaction as you're trying to come to grips with all this? Let me guess. I bet you said something to the effect, well, it's not helpful, and the president's just trying to distract from his own dismal record. Let's scroll down and see if that's what they said. Lightfoot said, well, look, if you go back over many years, President Trump has said a lot of disparaging things about the city of Chicago. What? Just telling you what happened there? And I love Chicago, by the way. I just avoid areas that I could get shot. He likes to use us as a political punching bag. But if the president was really committed to helping us deal with our violence, he would do some easy things. One is he would push for universal background checks. You know what? Universal background checks. Hey, Lori Lightfoot, you realize that you're in Chicago, the place with already very stringent gun laws. And guess what? I'm guessing that all the people killing people in Chicago right now probably didn't get their guns on the up and up. I'm pretty sure they didn't. I'm sure they didn't apply for a concealed carry permit or even look for it didn't fill out a universal background check form. You dumbass. There's already a background check for purchasing guns in Chicago. I'm pretty sure those guns aren't legal. Anyway, he would push for an assault weapons ban. Guess what? In Chicago, most gun crime is done with handguns. You are talking out of your butthole. He would push to make sure that people who were banned from getting on airplanes can't get guns. Really? Is there an epidemic of people flying the friendly skies? Oh, excuse me. Not being allowed to fly the friendly skies in your city that are killing people on the street? Oh my goodness. Is that what it is? Is she asking for a Muslim ban? I don't know what she meant there. What does that mean? That sounded pretty racist, Lori Lightfoot. And you're a Black woman. You should not be acting racist. Oh, can't be racist? Wait a minute. She's the mayor. She can be racist because she is the power. She is the powerful. She's the mayor, so she can absolutely be racist. This is the kind of thing that federal leadership could do. None of those things will do a goddamn thing in Chicago. Sorry, Lori Lightfoot. But as long as we are challenged with having states surrounding us, notably Indiana, that has very lax gun laws, bullshit. In Indiana, you have to have a state-issued Indiana ID to purchase a gun. You go through a background check in Indiana, and it's a felony to purchase that gun illegally in Indiana. So Indiana's lax gun laws. Even at gun shows in Indiana, you can't buy a gun and take it with you. You have to go through the background check, have it shipped to you. You can't leave the gun show with the weapon, particularly if you live out of state. So, nice try. I'm going to guess majority of the illegal guns don't come from Indiana in your city, but hey, just saying. Very lax. She's notably Indiana that has very lax gun laws where somebody can drive across the border and literally load up a vehicle with military grade weapons and bring them back to the city of Chicago. I wonder which military grade weapons she might be talking about. I think she is full of crap. We're really focusing on the root causes of violence. Are you, Lori? That's the problem. God, I wish I had the time to be an activist. Because I think the root cause, there are poor nations all over the world, but they're not killing each other. And yet we have, and look, here's the other thing. It's certainly not just black people in Chicago. Okay. It's not black people. Again, 70% of black people live above the poverty line, aren't shooting each other. But fundamentally, we have too many illegal guns on our street. Wait a minute. Wait, did she just say what I just think I got to read that again. But fundamentally, we have too many illegal guns on our street. And that's a direct result of a failure of federal leadership? And which is why we need a change in November. And we need the kind of leadership that Joe Biden is going to bring to our country. Oh, good Lord. At least, so those illegal guns, Lori Lightfoot, I'm going to guess nobody with those illegal guns are going to get that background check, are they? I'm just saying. I just got a feeling. Hello, Straight Sith Male. I just noticed you were here. Hello, and Donatello Slapfellow. How you doing? Good morning, Kessler. What's up? Renovacio. I think I already said hi to Renovacio, but I'll say it again. I'm not ashamed. I'm glad you all are here. Holy Shiite Batman. Good God. Oh, that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Are we frozen? Or is that just my... Oh, no, we're good. Holy shitballs. Anyway, let's see what's happening in the world of Twitter, which means let's see what's happening in the world. So we'll know what people are talking about later in the day and overnight. We'll see what articles you'll read tomorrow by finding out what's happening today. And usually you can find that on Twitter. On the Explore tab on Twitter today, they've got Flock. Oh, it's moved. It was Flock to Peacock, but now it's Texas wide receiver Kenny Stills arrested for protesting the police killing of Breonna Taylor. Now, if that is not a classic headline. So I want to get into this. Kenny Stills, it says, quote, arrested for protesting the police killing of Breonna Taylor. Do you think that's what he was arrested for? Really? Let's click this and see how this is going to be interesting. Stills is facing a felony charge after he and 86 others were arrested at a protest in Louisville, Kentucky, according to the Louisville Courier-Journal. The protesters were demanding justice for Breonna Taylor, who was killed on March 13th when police officers executed a no-knock warrant at her apartment and shot her at least 8 times. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything about what Kenny Stills did that has him facing a felony charge. So, protesting the killing of Breonna Taylor is not illegal. So, you're not getting arrested for protesting the police killing of Breonna Taylor. That's absolutely fair to do. That's absolutely legal. Now, this says still facing a felony charge after being arrested during a protest. Breonna Taylor, per the wide receiver and over 100 others, marched to Kentucky Attorney General Cameron's home to call for justice against the officers who killed Taylor. Okay, so you were at his home. Now, what did they do at his home is what I'm wondering. Let's try the Courier-Journal, because no one's telling me what they did at the Attorney General's home. Let's see if this article tells us why it's a felony charge. Stills, who was entered into the jail's booking log just before midnight after having been taken into custody earlier in the afternoon, as he and dozens of others protesters marched to the home of Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron to demand action against the police officer who shot and killed Breonna Taylor. Stills was charged with intimidating a participant in the legal process, a felony, as well as a misdemeanor, disorderly conduct, and criminal trespass. Oh, wait a minute. Criminal trespass. Okay. And also, interesting, intimidating a participant in the legal process. So this is someone who's going to be prosecuting or who has the potential to prosecute a case. And so intimidation of a clerk, what do they call it? An officer of the court is a felony in Kentucky. Steele's charges mirrors those that 86 other protesters who were arrested Tuesday are facing. More than 100 marched from Ballard High School in Louisville's East End to the home of Cameron, who protesters have long demanded charge the 3 Metro police officers involved in Taylor's killing. Those protesters stood and chanted on Cameron's lawn, and at Cameron's request, they were trespassed from the property. LMPD spokesman Lamont Washington said in a statement Tuesday evening. So they were on his lawn. Okay. All were given the opportunity to leave before being arrested, Washington added. Washington said the charges against the protesters came due to their refusal to leave the property and their attempts to influence the decision of the Attorney General with their actions. Taylor was shot by Louisville police serving a no-knock warrant in March. No drugs were found at the Black ER technician's home. One of the officers involved, Brett Hankinson, has been fired, while 2 others, Jonathan Mattingly and Miles Cosgrove, remain on the force. Protesters have pushed Cameron to charge the officers, and have put pressure on others in the region, including Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher, to take further action. Thank you so much, Kingslayer Damocles. How you doing, my man? Nice to see you here. I don't think these people realize how big the category weapons of war is. Weapons of war essentially has every form of projectile weapon ever used. Yeah, that whole weapons of war thing. I'm sorry. But the other part too, when she says weapons of war, she's probably referring to AR-15s, which aren't military issue items, even though, I don't know, they're not burst fire. They're not, they're not convertible semi-automatic weapons. I don't know. That's silly. Thank you so much, Kingslayer Damocles. So anyway, they were on the Attorney General's lawn. He's an officer of the court. Intimidating an officer of court in a potential case is a felony in Kentucky. So they weren't arrested for protesting. They're arrested for trespassing and intimidating an officer of the court. Interesting. All right, let's find out what's trending and let's get the hell out of Dodge. Nick Cannon still trending number 1. We all know why. We went through that earlier, so I'm going to skip that. AP scores. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Stop posting your 5s. Read the room. AP scores. I don't. What? Oh. Okay. People are. AP students are posting scores. Okay, whatever. Don't care. People are laughing about it on Twitter, though. Wednesday morning, Wednesday Wisdom will skip. T-Pain is trending. I'm on a boat. I'm on a motherfucking boat. I don't like how new artists are playing with T-Pain like that. Like he didn't have 2006 to 2009 on lock. Like he wasn't responsible for the cultural reset of the rhyming mansion with Wisconsin. Put some respect on his name. Now, why are they fucking with T-Pain? I don't know. Why doesn't anyone want to work with T-Pain? We actually miss him and want to hear more from him. T-Pain speaks on Travis Scott ghosting him on multiple studio sessions. Okay, so he was in an interview talking about how Travis Scott was doing him dirty, and apparently that's why he's trending. Younger artist not respecting T-Pain. I don't know. I think his best work is with Lonely Island. I'm on a boat. I'm just. Anyway, Kenny Stills is trending number 6. We just talked about him being arrested. Donald the Dope is trending, which means the hashtag activists are in full force. Donald the Dope, Daily Edge. Donald the Dope. Trump has always been a stupid person's idea of a successful businessman, complete with his gold toilet and collection of trophy wives and girlfriends. He's the dumbest person we could have ever picked to lead us through these complicated times. Hey, I think Donald Trump is a jackass. Just the right, and that's a compliment because he's the perfect jackass for the times who doesn't take shit from people. And, it's the economy and Trump's stupid. Oh, cute. Yeah, well, the economy has been affected by that import from China that we shall not name or associate with China. Anyway, Snoop is trending. Why is Snoop trending? Let's find out. By the way, this show is brought to you by you, and I am powered by coffee and rapping gangster, fueled by gangster rap and coffee. DMX is a legend, but Snoop about to get an easy win. Oh, never mind. This is how long Snoop has been irrelevant. Yeah, Snoop is skinny ass hanging around with Martha Stewart. I'm sorry. Snoop's kind of a strange bird. Let's see. What's the date on this snooze week? You can't see it. 19 something. I don't know. That's when he was a young dude. Anyway, how am I pulling up the Snoop Dogg versus DMX battle? So they're apparently gonna have a rap battle on Battle of the Dogs. Anyway, a song for song battle. Snoop smoking any rapper not named Jay-Z. Straight like that. You wild foolish if you think otherwise. Snoop has to have his shit planned out though. I don't know how off the cuff Snoop can go. Everything, he just uses Izzle a lot, so who knows. Moving on, Navarro. Which Navarro is this? Anna Navarro, Pete Navarro, which Navarro? This doctor can call the Navarro article all the names he wants, but he does not dispute anything Navarro says. Okay, so that's Peter Navarro, who the White House is saying the Peter Navarro op-ed disparaging. Dr. Fauci was not authorized, and that Navarro owes Dr. Fauci an apology. Let's assume that's true. In any other administration, the person who did that would be fired without question. So apparently, Peter Navarro wrote an op-ed ripping Anthony Fauci. I have not read either. Maybe I'll read that. We'll talk about this one tomorrow. I haven't read it, so I can't really comment on it. But all the usual suspects are out here. Weijie Zhang, Maggie Haberman, Glenn Kirshner, Joe Lockhart, Jennifer Rubin, Matthew Miller. Oh, they are all... Brian Krasenstein Brian Krasenstein or his uglier twin brother tweeting under the name of one of their wives says, Dr. Fauci is an American hero. If you respect... Oh, we have another super chat. Mr. Scott, thank you. Also, good morning, Mr. Scott, with the $2. How rough is it out there, PDawg? How rough is it out there? It's pretty rough, man. Nick Cannon's gone down. He's going down. Okay, thank you so much for the super chat, Mr. Scott. Nice to see you. Back to Brian Krasenstein or his uglier brother tweeting as one of their wives. Dr. Fauci is an American hero. If you respect Fauci and stand up against attacks on him by President Trump and Peter Navarro, please do me one favor and make sure this video goes viral. Donald the Dope. Yeah, okay, Crassus dude. Anyway, everyone's ripping on Navarro, and let's see. Here's the article. Oh my goodness. Is this the op-ed? Let's see here. USA Today. I'm surprised USA Today would even run an op-ed. Yes, here it is. An op-ed that rips Anthony Navarro. Oh, breaking news. Walmart and Sam's Club will require customers to wear masks in all its stores, even in states where they're not required. Oh my God, here we go. And I go to Sam's Club all the time. Oh well, I don't care. I carry masks in my truck just in case, but I don't wear them everywhere. I wear them someplace. Here's Peter Navarro. Anthony Fauci has been wrong about everything. I have interacted with him on... Okay, when you ask me whether I listen to his advice, my answer is only with skepticism and caution, opposing view. Dr. Anthony Fauci has a good bedside manner with the public, but he has been wrong about everything I have interacted with him on. In late January, when I was making the case on behalf of the president to take down the flights from China, Fauci fought against the president's courageous decision, which might well have saved hundreds of thousands of American lives. When I warned him in late January in a memo of a possibly deadly pandemic, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases was telling the news media not to worry. That is a fact. All the way up until March, he was telling people not to worry. When I was working feverishly on behalf of the president in February to help engineer the fastest industrial mobilization of the healthcare sector in our history, Fauci was telling people the China virus was low risk. Fact! He said that in February 28th or whatever on the Today Show. When we were building new mask capacity in record time, Fauci was flip-flopping on the use of masks. True. When Fauci was telling the White House Coronavirus Task Force that there was only anecdotal evidence in support of hydroxychloroquine to fight the virus, I confronted him with scientific studies providing evidence of safety and efficacy. A recent Detroit hospital study showed that a 50% reduction in the mortality rate when the medicine was used in early treatment. Now Fauci says falling mortality rate doesn't matter when it's the single most important statistic to help guide the pace of our economic reopening. The lower the mortality rate, the faster and more we can open. So when you ask me whether I listen to Dr. Fauci's advice, my answer is only with skepticism and caution. Does that sound harsh at all? I mean, obviously, you know how that's going to go over with the rest of the crowd. And I'm sure I will take advice from Fauci on an 8-day bender before I take advice from anyone in this administration. Well, whatever. Is anything Peter Navarro said not factual? I certainly could pull up plenty of receipts on that one. All right. So anyway, people sniffing Fauci's farts are out there, and I don't think. By the way, I don't think Fauci's a bad person either. I just think he's been wrong about several things. I don't think he's given the greatest advice to the president. But then the president gets all the what does he get? He gets all the shit from the advice he's gotten from his advisors. So I don't know. Semitic, that's related to Nick Cannon. We'll move on. Walmart and Sam's Club, we just talked about that. They're going to be requiring masks in all their stores nationwide, which is insanity. Although I'm pretty sure they won't enforce it in places like South Dakota or North Dakota, or maybe even here. We'll have to check that out when I go to Sam's Club today. I have to go there today. Farrakhan's trending. Farrakhan's influence remains a problem. The Nation of Islam hate-monger pernicious spreading of anti-Semitism in the black community continues to fly below the radar. Yeah, Nick Cannon's whole diatribe the other day was influenced by Minister Farrakhan. Well, Hez here. Good morning. Cynical. It's important to be aware that oxygen depletion percentage of stacks of the N95 versus cloth because the higher O2, higher immunity, aside from the support of N95 defenses. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see here. Wow, Farrakhan's trending. Farrakhan's influence remains a problem. Fuck this white supremacy dip bullshit news. Farrakhan's influence has absolutely nothing on Trump's influence, damage, and reign of terror. Really? Reign of terror? Y'all give... It's so funny. Trump gets so much credit for everyone's issues. Anyway. Can y'all please stop following and listening to Farrakhan? Just please stop. Here's the deal. If you, after hearing Jews speak up about anti-Semitism over the last week or so, are still praising Farrakhan or spreading his words, you are no longer just indifferent to the anti-Semitism. You are now actively stating, fuck the Jews. Farrakhan is a completely and totally polarizing figure, and I have no time for him. But let's see. Tariq Nasheed, though, Tariq Nasheed, who is still out there and has millions of followers, who says, interesting how a suspected white supremacist publication, that's his favorite, publication like National Review, wrote an article saying another suspected white supremacist, Jordan Peterson, isn't racist. Now, I don't know why he thinks Jordan Peterson is a suspected white supremacist. It's like a thief vouching for a rapist. Wow. But then he adds on his own tweet, the National Review just put out an article saying Farrakhan's influence is a problem. The National Review is infamous for its dangerous anti-black racism, and I've called them out for it for years. Well, Tariq, you call out everybody for racism no matter what they say. So I'm just saying. They acting like Farrakhan is Hitler 2.0. Trust me, as soon as Nick uttered Farrakhan's name, it was a wrap. No message needed, just say his name and you're done. Yeah, that he did mention Farrakhan in his race. That it is a diatribe, and that's why I think that's part of the reason why I think he got fired, because Farrakhan immediately, some people, means anti-Semitism, which, in some ways, he's kind of earned the title. All right, let's move on. Ivanka's trending. Ivanka Trump accused of violating federal ethics laws with Bean brand endorsement. She endorsed the beans. Ivanka Trump has apparently endorsed products from a company whose CEO is an outspoken supporter of her father, thereby landing herself in trouble for potentially violating a government's ethics law. Ms. Trump tweeted a picture of herself holding a can of Goya brand black beans with the caption, "If it's Goya, it has to be good. Si es Goya, tiene que ser bueno." Ms. Trump is not known to speak Spanish herself. Well, thank you for clarifying that, The Independent, which is really just an offshoot of the New York Times. No sooner had she done this than critics pointed out that as a formally employed advisor to the president, Ms. Trump is forbidden from endorsing products by a federal ethics provision under the heading Use of Public Office for Private Gain. Well, interesting. Is she being paid for this endorsement? Does she have stock in Goya? Interesting. Use of public office for private gain. Well, let's see. The section Ms. Trump is being mocked for violation reads, any employee shall not use or permit the use of his government position or title or any authority associated with his public office to endorse any product, service, or enterprise. Okay, so she might be in trouble for that. Who knows? Ms. Trump is not just the president's daughter. She is also has the title advisor to the president. While they both have formal job roles, she and her husband, Jared Kushner, both forego their salaries, but this does not make them exempt from rules governing government staff. So, okay, she might get a sharply worded letter. Okay, whatever. Well, it's funny too, though, because okay, so her endorsement of the Goya brand comes after the company's CEO Robert Unanu, appeared at a White House event featuring various business leaders. In his remarks, he called the president an incredible builder and declared the U.S. blessed to have him as a chief executive. Donald Trump's opponents, including high-profile progressives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Lin-Manuel Miranda, immediately sprung into boycott mode. A few days later, Ms. Trump decided to take Goya's side. You know what's fascinating about that? Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
He says, I believe Nick should have been fired because he's a vile racist. Because he's a vile racist comment, but it seems some races are more equal than others.
That's right.
FTG Mayor Beetlejuice.
That's right.
Straight up. Yeah, I mean, he said some racist shit and, he got canceled, and that's kind of the rules right now, so I suppose. It's funny because you can say you like Goya beans and have an ethics issue, but calling for a boycott of Goya beans as a congresswoman doesn't have an issue of ethics. I don't know. She's not. I don't think Ivanka Trump's getting paid for it. But whatever. Technically, I think it's worth a sternly worded letter. Alabama Democrats. What? Who cares? Alabama Democrats. Why are they trending? Did somebody? Oh. Alabama Democrats. This is so Tommy Tuberville, beat Jeff Sessions in the Senate runoff for the Senate. Alabama Democrats. He lost his last Iron Bowl 36-0, collected millions of dollars in pension money from hardworking Alabamans, and built investors based on their trust in his investment advice. Tubbs, Doug's going to run through you like Fred Talley at an 11 a.m. Jefferson Pilot game. Okay, that's some local football humor. Then they said Tommy Tuberville said he'd leave Ole Miss in a pine box. Days later, he left for Auburn. Never told his players goodbye. At Auburn, he had a wandering eye every year. At Texas Tech, he ditched a recruit during a dinner to leave for Cincinnati. Wonder who he's lying to now. They're doing a blitz on Tommy Tuberville. Alabama government. Senator Jones got justice for 4 little girls murdered during church by the Klan. Tommy Tuberville thought a 1-game suspension was enough when one of his players raped a little girl. Which one cares more about your daughter's future? Ouch. You scared of your own shadow? Can an incumbent Democrat senator win a red state? Us ready to storm hell with Super Soaker? Tommy Tuberville couldn't score a TD for 2 weeks with his first four first-rounders on his offense. He also lost to Vanderbilt. One Alabama. Well, these are not Auburn fans writing this shit. And they might just stir up some Auburn fans just to... Oh, boy. Yeah. Anyway, DNC needs to be taking notes from Alabama Democrats on how to do social media. Oh, my gosh. They went all football on this motherfucker. But, frankly, I don't think Doug Jones is going to last in Alabama. Alabama Democrats have come to this field to play, not watch. Total football message board. Okay, that's kind of actually. I mean, I don't want to see. I don't want to see any more Democrats in office for a while until they figure out what they really want to be. And so but that is pretty. That's pretty harsh. That's some shit right there. Thank you again, Black Hebrew Israelite, and Mr. Scott, and Kingslayer Damocles, and Mike Hawk. and for the super chat so far today. Oh, it's almost time to go. Damn Nick, MapQuest, Hebrews, Jackie Washington. Okay, there's really nothing else on here I need to do. All right. So I'm going to skip Sheldon Adelson too. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. I should have been paying attention to the clock, but it's buzzing up on my kitchen table because I forgot to bring it down here with me. Y'all, thank you so much for being here at the Morning Night Live today. I can't tell you how happy I am to have you come and join me today. Thank you so much for the people doing the super chats and participating in the chat. This show is here on Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 1500 GMT for my friends around the world like Renovasio and Richo who live in faraway time zones. if you'd be so kind, we've got 45 people here right now, 23 likes. Let's get that ratio up to about 45 and 45. Smash that like button before you go on your way out the door. And if you be so kind to share the stream. If you're watching the replay, please leave a comment in the comment section so that I know you're here. And finally, donations and super chats are always done through the PDawg.live site, or you can do it at the Streamlabs links in the description down below. Let's see. Don't worry. I'm sure sexual assault allegations against Tuberville will start coming out. Oh, they surely will. Voodoo Chili, I did not see you here. Hello. I am so happy you dropped in. Also, Richard Cranium. Who I kind of said hi to earlier. I think I've got everybody so far. And don't forget, it is Check Your Logic's birthday. If you do that on the way out too, just give Check Your Logic a big fat happy birthday. It's got to be better than my singing. So anyway, I got to go. Thanks again for being here. My name is PDawg Knight. And I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.